What's the name of the podcast, Ethan?
I don't fucking know.
Yeah, it's not comedy.
It's not going to be a podcast. It's going to be a fucking train wreck.
I wouldn't say that.
Do you know what Cream Fiend is? They sell NANGs, nitrous oxide canisters, for making cakes.
Yeah,
But they'll deliver them to you any time of day, night. Cream Fiend.
Welcome to the podcast. Welcome back to the podcast, Bobby.
It's great to be back.
Yeah.
We're in the shed.
This shed is tremendous. There's, maybe, I don't know, I'm not too good with my math, but there's like a 10-foot blue effigy to my very left, and damn. Apparently it's a puppet. Apparently this thing can be worn on one's back, and then each of its limbs can be independently moved, so that's all a marvel at this human creation. How good is that?
It's pretty insane, man. Yeah, so
good.
they're just like, this place is just, people pay like a monthly fee and they can just come in and make stuff.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, like whatever they want. They supply all the tools. There's like power tools and stuff over there if you're off to a good start, eh?
Yeah.
This is comfier than I'm used to, though.
Oh
It's
my
pretty
god, this
fucking
is
good.
tremendous.
Yeah.
I'm so into this.
I'm just trying to get extra comfy.
We're trying out a new setup for the audio listeners, where we've got our mic stands sort of like connected, all fucked up backwards and shit, and we're sitting on lounges in the middle of this shed, and you'll be able to hear the sound of the prisoners that we've got scratching
That's
at
the
their
sound
cages.
of James Connors breaking in Splinter Cell style through the roof.
Oh man,
Love a good callback.
yeah.
Yeah, last episode James was not happy.
Oh, yeah?
He thought we were doing it at my house again,
Oh,
in
okay.
like the nice house over at Whitebridge.
Yeah, I gotta say,
What the fuck?
not that I expected to. I'll just be honest, when I got invited to do the podcast, you were happy, and I didn't expect that,
Yeah,
There's a
yeah.
lot of.
You expected this,
I
didn't you?
expected poverty, yeah.
Well, now we're in poverty.
I'm like, damn, white people are doing alright for themselves. It's good to see.
This is gonna sound like shit on the mic. I've just been fucking with this thing the whole time. I think I'm just gonna have to hold it.
Maybe. Why did you have to fuck with it?
Why?
You can't just have something nice.
Because it was falling down. It kept falling down, and I wouldn't have had any pop filter. So I'm just gonna have to hold it.
Oh, so that's what this does.
Yeah, it stops like when you breathe out like that.
Wow.
It stops it picking up on the microphone.
How amazing is technology, huh?
Yeah.
Take a step back and
I mean, it's just like a stocking.
Yeah, it's just a stretched out piece of
It's
foam.
pretty amazing.
But
Yeah.
just generally, broadly speaking.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like for 2 weeks, I was in hospital. I had to have IV antibiotics, and then they just rock up to me and they're like, "Dude, we're gonna do this thing, right? We're gonna put this like little tube in through a vein. It's gonna run all through your bicep, up through your shoulder, through your upper pec, and sit at the top of your heart. And that's gonna be connected to like a little like a baby ball, right?
Yeah.
And in that baby ball, there's going to be no electronic device, nothing. There's going to be like a balloon, a very lightweight balloon filled with kefazole, which is the antibiotic I was taking. And I just carried that in a little bum bag. And over a 24-hour period, I was getting antibiotics, so I could just leave hospital.
Oh, that's pretty
shit.
cool.
So it's just like the pressure of the balloons just slowly
Yes,
releasing.
slowly releasing.
Fuck.
And I'm like, "Phew, thank God for those people, you know what I mean? Making those kefazole fucking balloons and shit.
Who comes up with that?
Oh my God, that's incredible.
So
Am
what were you? Why'd you need that? What,
Oh, okay. So I do Brazilian
You got an
Jiu-Jitsu.
STD?
one of those. That's alright, man. I've been there.
But yeah, I had prepatellar bursitis. My knee would constantly like turn into like a balloon.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
it would like swell out like tremendously.
I can see it right now. It looks like
This is
swollen.
amazing. Like you would
This
get
is good?
This is great. It would get to
Wow.
like at least the size of like a large woman's tit, and you could
Perhaps
and it had
a
a very,
melon, maybe?
I mean,
Or just a small woman with big tits.
it had a very boob like if you touch it, it felt very boob-like.
Talking
You know?
about-
Okay, so you're using it to jerk off, obviously.
Potentially, you know, you could use it for
Draw a
that
titty on
purpose.
it.
It wouldn't take a great degree of imagination
Yeah.
to envision that, and yeah, it was just I was very poor with how I managed it. I would just sort of get all the fluid sucked out through a needle
Yeah.
and just bump the knife, probably fucked everything up.
That's alright.
But then I would just bandage it up as best as I can and just train like the next day. And then over
After
a period of
draining
2
it.
years.
What, draining it yourself? You just...
No, I would go to like the GP or whatever,
Right.
and they would just stick a needle in there
Yeah.
and pull like. There was one time they pulled like 300 mils, almost like a Coke can worth of blood from it,
Oh.
and then I would just strap it up, get a cortisol injection, and then that's how good jiu-jitsu is, people. That's why I say don't start jiu-jitsu because you will stop everything else and just go crazy for it. And I thought, look at me, how tough am I? And then fast forward 2 years and
No,
you
you're
haven't had
fucked.
surgery and spend like weeks in hospital. So
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
yeah.
So it was full with blood.
Yes, it's like fluid. So the bursa is like a sack of fluid that lubricates all your ligaments and keeps everything running smoothly.
Right.
There's like a number of like 7 different bursas all over your body. You have them on your hips,
Yep.
your knees, both elbows, and it's a pretty common injury. Any sort of constant impact can cause sort of a tear in the bursa sac,
Right.
and then
Yeah.
suddenly you've got like, because I was at training and we had a judo guy come in. People who don't know, judo and Greco-Roman wrestling, they have a lot of upper body throws. So as soon as they grab a hold of you, they will send you head over your heels
Yep.
and hit you with the planet.
Yeah.
So it's terrible. And this guy was just picking up everyone and throwing them on their head. But the thing with all martial arts is their rule sets determine their weaknesses. And in judo, you're not allowed to go for any. Hit the mic again. Look at me. Fuck. You're not allowed to grab the legs.
Yeah.
You're not allowed
Oh,
to
yeah.
tackle someone. Like a
That's the
40,
same in Greco.
same in
There's
Greco.
no
Yeah.
double legs.
So no double leg takedown.
Yeah.
So me getting all creative and shit, thought about this. So when it was my turn to go up against him, I pretty much just dove back like a meter and just would keep diving for his legs. And I'm like 6'4", and my knees would smash on the ground. And I took him down a few times, but I went home and had a nap or whatever. Everything was fine.
Woke up to
Yeah.
the giant titty.
I literally just woke up and my knee was huge, and any sort of slight bend in the knee, if I didn't keep my knee exactly 180 degrees straight,
Yeah.
it would cause intense pain.
Oh, fuck.
And I
What were
had
you
to work-
training on?
Sorry?
What were you
mats.
training on?
There was really shitty mats. It was
Yeah.
like, really, yeah, that was part of the problem.
Yeah.
That same night, I had a security shift,
Yeah.
right? This was at like a Sunken Monkey in was it Terrigal or Erin or some shit. It's not a great place to be working either.
No.
So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna rock up to work. And thank God nothing happened that night. I sort of chilled out in the cool. That same night, someone spiked my drink.
Oh, really?
Which, I'll be honest, I leave my drink out in the hope that someone will spike
Not
it.
tonight.
But that was just not the night. And I thought,
Yeah.
fuck it, maybe someone will give me something to be good for the pain or something. And whatever they gave me was too good because I smashed my drink, talking to a few other guards. And next thing you know, I faint. Like I fall backwards. And I'm like holding on defensive. And 2 guards had to like carry me out to the front of the club.
That's a good way to get at work, though.
That's a great way to get. Well, it let me stick around. So
Yeah,
I was still
okay.
getting paid. It was a great time.
Getting
Yeah.
paid, laying down with your leg out
That's
straight.
a workers' comp thing too.
Yeah.
Could have had a claim there, buddy.
Far out.
Oh, Mitch is working in workers' comp.
I thought Ethan was a dude. What's going on here?
Yeah, no. No, Mitch is trying to get that money. Stop kicking the
Sorry.
table. But,
How good is that?
yeah.
Yeah.
Mitch doesn't like to do work, like hard work. He's not for it. Even like last week, he's like, I'm going to get on top of uploading all the podcasts
Yeah.
to iTunes and Spotify. Still hasn't happened yet.
Oh.
Still hasn't.
We're still like,
Procrastination is the enemy.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've had some shit going on.
yeah. Well, I'm going to give you a pass because your dad died.
Yeah. Thanks, Dad. We're down 1 fan now too. Dad was a fan. It's fucking not good for the podcast. Our fans are dying.
Yeah, the podcast is not good for human consumption. Could cause death.
Oh.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Yeah. You started listening to it about 2 weeks ago, and then died a week later.
That's quicker than cancer.
Yeah. Well, that's what he died of.
Yeah, that was what he died of. Yeah.
Wow.
He did alright though. He got 18 months after, so he had bowel cancer about 6 years ago, and beat that. They pulled a fucking a Coke bottle sized tumour out of his bowel. Didn't have to get a colostomy bag or anything like that.
Technology, man.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Did chemo, didn't lose his hair or anything.
Wow.
Yeah, and then obviously he got liver cancer 18 months, 2 years ago. Had a couple of rounds of chemo and radiotherapy, but man, you don't want to get liver cancer. It's you're fucked pretty much. Like,
they can't fix your liver.
Well, actually, the liver does heal. It's the only organ
It heals itself.
Yeah.
But I think once you get cancer in your liver, like, it's pretty fast.
You got to catch it real early.
Everything.
Yeah. You got to sort of like It's a fucked one to get, but I remember being in the doctor's office, and this is like, I'm not angry about it or anything, but Mum made me go because Dad was very secretive, and like didn't like telling people about his health issues.
Yeah.
And he went, and they had a scan of his liver, and they said, "Oh, there's this dark spot in your liver, but it was there a year ago with your last scans. It doesn't really look like anything." So they ignored it, and it was actually cancer.
Oh my god.
So if they'd fucking like chased it up then, he might have beaten that too.
Wow.
But fuck, man, it is what it is. If that didn't get him, something else would.
Yeah. Dennis was here for a good time, not a long time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about it yesterday, just all the stories, and there's so many stories that obviously you can't say at a funeral with all the people there.
It was funny, everyone's like, you never had a bad word to say about anyone. I'm like, fuck.
Except Jolson.
Yeah.
One of our good friends, we had a house party at house where me and Ethan used to live, and like these parties used to just kick off all fucking night, like from like 11 o'clock in the morning through till 4 o'clock the next morning.
Wow.
Like big parties. And it was one of these parties, and Jolson was up at like 2 in the morning talking with Mum and Tom and a few other people. And Dad just comes out and just starts fucking abusing Jolson.
That's because Jolson doesn't talk, he yells.
Yeah.
Like, he's one of those dudes that doesn't have an inside voice. He's just like, super boisterous.
Yeah.
And Dennis had enough. Come out and tell him to shut the fuck up. Just fair enough. We've all had to do that. Yeah.
Jolson's, I'm sorry. Because Jolson's like the nicest dude ever. Doesn't saying that, cunt Jolson comes out when he's drinking.
Yeah.
But that particular time, he was like, "Oh fuck, I'm so sorry." Like, it was a good we got some good memories about Dad. He's a good bloke.
Speaking of dying though, fucking did the Spanish Onion at Brady's.
Oh yeah.
It's like this backyard gig.
Okay.
So it's like Brady's like, he used to be pretty big into comedy, but now he's doing like film and stuff, and so he's taking a step back. But he hosts this barbecue like maybe once a year, and so it's just like maybe 12 seats in like this tiny little backyard, and with like just a PA system, like an amp with a mic attached to it, and you're just doing comedy to like other comics.
Yeah.
That are there, and so they've all heard your shit.
Yeah.
Like they've heard all your jokes. So it's like, unless you bring some new stuff or like something that they haven't heard, like you're just gonna die. Yeah. And then at one point there was like a bit of a crowd gathering because it's in Cooks Hill, so there's like a bunch of people walking through off Derby Street and then like coming past. So there was a bit of a crowd there at one point, and like Elliot was trying to do like actual jokes and just dying. Like everyone was dying pretty much. Like no one really did well except for Brady. Sort of did all right at the end there. But it was a fucking weird gig, and I ate shit like big time. I fucking sucked. I just got really drunk beforehand, and I've never done comedy super drunk before.
Yeah.
And I just kept staying on stage. I'm like nothing was funny. I was still like drunk and rambling, and everyone's like, "Get off the stage, Ethan." I'm like, "No, I like it here now." Usually I'm too nervous and I'm a mess, and I'm like, I just want to say my bits and get the fuck out.
Yeah.
No, not that night. I was like, I'm chill. I'm loving it up here. Everyone else is hating it, but I'm having a great time. So yeah, no more comedy 5 beers in. But it's super weird because there was this group of people that rocked up, and one of the dudes, his name was Jacob, and we thought he was with that group.
Okay.
But they all just sort of left, like they smoked a joint and fucked off. And he stayed. And we're like, aren't you with them? He's like, no, I just met them around the corner. So they dumped him on us.
Wow.
And then he was our issue then. And he decided that he was going to like lay down in the street, and one of the other guys had a BMX there. I was like riding around on it, fucking around. He's like, you should bunny hop me. I'm like, alright, sweet. I'm like, lay down then. And bunny hopped him a couple of times. And I was like, I don't think I had that, like, had it in me, but apparently I did. I was pretty fucking drunk, but didn't end up fucking landing on him, so that was a plus. And then we built a ramp, and like,
Oh my god.
built this like little ramp, and I was so drunk and high at the time. I was like, yeah, I reckon I got this. And he's like, yeah, you got it, I believe in you. So, like, I was just jumping him on a bike while drunk.
So you didn't like land on him ever?
No, I didn't land on him. So
It's fucking anticlimactic.
I was expecting
That's fun.
some sort of injury.
No.
Yeah.
he was just like, told me that I should smoke DMT,
Oh yeah.
and I was like, cool.
That's not bad advice.
And then we dropped him off at Wickham, and he like jumps out of the car and like gives me a hug. He's like, nice to meet you, man. I'm like, yeah, you too, take care of yourself. And he's like, nope. And just ran off into the night. I'm like, alright, might never see that guy again.
Ethan, man, you really take chances in life. On what was it, Wednesday, when we did a Punchline, the comedy open mic,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
there was a situation where a female comic, I forgot her name, went on stage and started talking about how random it was that there was this random half-eaten cookie lying on the floor.
Oh, yes.
Lying on the floor, ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah.
of the female toilets.
Yeah.
Now, at some point, somebody who's watching, one of the spectators or audience members, went inside the female bathroom, and she retrieved this cookie and brought it up to the stage. And then this cookie, who the comic refused to touch, by the way, because of where it come from.
Yeah.
It was put on on the ground or somewhere near the stage, and that's where it remained. We thought that is the last we'll hear of the cookie saga, but no.
Me and Ethan had a conversation about
Ethan,
this.
we'll get to the conversation.
Yeah.
Ethan goes on stage, right?
Yeah.
And suddenly, Ethan, I can't remember what you said. What did you say? Try to.
I gotta say, I'm trying this new opening where I'm like, am I late to the Scooby-Doo audition? Because I look like Shaggy.
Yeah. Oh.
And like, some people.
Oh.
I guess that was a shot.
That was a shotgun that went
Damn.
off in the background.
Hope we didn't get locked in.
Oh, well.
No, we can open the holiday. Yeah, so I did that opening, and then I was like, gee, what would you do for a Scooby snack, Scoob?
And he picks up this cookie, this
Oh.
disgusting cookie, which is probably covered in a good layer of female
Urine.
piss. I guess
Yeah.
that's better than male urine. Like, you better choose.
Yeah, maybe.
cake in either.
Depends on what women were there. And look,
The women of the Stag and Hunter are a clean bunch.
He
no.
proceeds to eat the cookie, chew it.
Yeah.
So, did you swallow it?
A little bit of
You
it. Yeah.
swallowed a little bit. And then we hear somebody, I thought it was a good Samaritan, Mitchell, come up with a beer and buy him a beer. And we think, oh, this is a great dude. Turns out there was a deal that had been negotiated prior. What was all that all
Yeah. So
As soon as the cookie came out,
I've said to Ethan, I was like, are you going to eat it or am I going to eat it? Because I was like, and Ethan's like, no, I'll eat it.
Oh, no.
And then I was like, get up there now and do it. Like, and he's like, no, I'll fuck up a set. I was like, okay, cool. He's like, but you got to buy me a beer if I eat it. I was like, okay, cool.
For the price of a beer. Oh.
Yeah.
Because if Ethan said he wasn't going to eat it, that was my plan, to just go up, grab the cookie, and then chew it in front of everyone and walk off.
Oh my god. You'd have got like a clap going.
Oh,
And then hold
dude.
it up.
Yeah.
Just dramatically.
Yeah.
Slowly lower it to your mouth. And people are like, will he do it? Will he not?
Oh, man. It was, yeah. It would have been bad for Brooke because it would have you're right, it would have fucked her set. But I'd already finished my set, so
Yeah.
I was inebriated.
yeah.
Yeah. And, yeah, you ate the bathroom cookie, which... looking back on it, should have done at the end of this set.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I never opened with eating the bathroom cookie.
You can't really top that.
No, and also you've got to talk with fucking piss cookie in your mouth for the rest of your set.
Yeah, I'm glad you bought me that beer because fuck, it was dry and just.
Yeah.
And I couldn't taste any weed in it either. I'm like, this is not.
Yeah. No.
There's nothing even in it.
Yeah.
What a fucking joke. I was just praying there was some drugs in it.
Yeah. And there wasn't.
Nothing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Who leaves a fucking half-eaten cookie on the bathroom?
I wonder what the story was behind that. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And bringing it, because I don't think they sell cookies, so someone would have had to bring that to them, to the venue.
Yeah.
In and of itself, traveling with cookies.
Yeah, you would think that there would have been drugs in it.
There'd be, yeah, you'd think. Hey.
But no.
Well, now,
But who leaves like half their drug cookie on the floor?
But then again, suddenly you're making the prospect of eating it sound better and better by the second.
Yeah.
There's a very
Yeah.
good likelihood, Bobby, that there's come on, man.
That's some free drugs right there.
Yeah, oh.
Bobby's in. Next cookie. 100%.
Bobby's here.
No, I get real like nauseous from that.
Oh, okay.
Like especially like working like in bars and nightclubs and that. Every time a girl passes that, she spews. Because I will spew as well.
I get in sympathy.
Oh my!
Yeah.
This one time, I was actually working at a place in Newcastle, and it was it Anzac Day? It was an Anzac Day, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And I was working with this older, more experienced dude, and this guy he was a lot larger and sort of bigger. And what had happened was, I was doing sort of my rounds and going around checking everywhere. 8 hours of nothingness often occurs in security. And I see this person, like I'm looking underneath the sort of the bottom of the bathroom, whatever you call it, stall, and there's a dude like on his knees. And I go, fair enough, it's 2019 or whatever it was. And,
Okay.
you're
He's
welcome
in
to
there
do whatever you want to do. Yeah, I go, hey, all good. And I come back, and he's still there. I go, this guy's committed. You know what I mean?
Either he's committed or he's terrible at giving heads ups.
I said, wow, what a man. I wish more women had this sort of commitment. Anyway, moving on. I'm like, okay, this has been too long. I need to check up on this guy. So I sort of knock on the door a few times, and I go, security, and there's no response. And I'm like, okay, this isn't too good. And I get the other guy, and he goes, look, you have to go have a look. So I jumped in the cubicle, because we tried to open the door, and we couldn't get the door open. Even though it was unlocked, we couldn't. His body, he was a large guy, and he was jammed in between the door, and he passed out.
Oh, fuck.
So there was no way we could get in.
Yeah.
And I'm the only guy who's lanky enough to sort of go in and maybe jump in. So what I do is, I get into the stall next door, and I'm leaning over, and I can see he's got his one hand and face in the toilet. The toilet filled half to the top of vomit, and I'm looking at the guy. I can't get in. He goes, dude, that guy might die. You're the only one. I'm like, man, I've envisioned a lot of hero moments in my life, but this is not it. You know what I mean? I expected taking a gun out of a terrorist hand and doing shit like that. Not this. Not jumping in a bloody toilet cubicle. Oh my god, with all the vomit. I'm like, you know what? You've got to do things in life sometimes. You've got to do things, bro. This is the altruistic moment. Like, Bobby, a moment for you to shine. So I just get in there, and I have to turn away and face the stall door because I can't handle the situation. It's just too overwhelming. And I'm trying to get this guy responsive, and he's sort of like, pushing me away and whatnot. And before you know it just got too much. And I ended up spewing in that same freaking toilet. Somehow I shoved this dude in and contorted his body into the next stall. And then we got friends and family to help us take him out. It was shocking. Now, the bit I remember most is his wife coming out and be like, he's only had 2 wine glasses. He's only had 2 wine glasses. And I'm like, love, clearly there's something else going on here. I don't know if he had some sort of alcohol issue that were keeping it away from him, or so he went to the toilets and got his mates to bring him a whole bottle. In the
that, or he's had 2 wines, but he shoved them up his ass.
Yeah.
Do you get more drunk if you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Just ask Ethan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that didn't really work very well.
No, you got to break the vacuum.
Yeah, I tried to do a butt chug, but yeah, we went for the bottle straight in the arsehole, which doesn't work because there's nowhere for the air to go for it to you need a funnel. If you're going to do a butt chug, bring a funnel. Is
incredible.
My advice. Yeah, this is what this is the life I live. These are the tips I have for you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you're ever wondering, how to consume alcohol via your anus.
Yeah.
Yep.
Message Ethan.
Yep.
Yeah.
Man.
You're a fucking mess.
Yeah. I know. So what are you doing over Christmas? Want to come around to my place and shelf beers?
Well, you'll be hanging out at my place over
BYO
Christmas.
funnel.
Oh,
Over
man.
New Year's.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Minding Ethan's house sitting for us. Hopefully he doesn't have another threesome in our house.
Yeah, last time I had a threesome.
Yeah, how'd that go?
That was good.
Was
Until the
it
guy
two-
that I had it with killed himself. 3 months later.
So, okay, first of all, we need a lot more details here. So you and this other guy were with somebody else?
Yeah, my partner, yeah.
Okay, and then, actually, it's your story, go on.
Well, I don't know if it was because I bullied him about slapping my nuts on his head while we were doing it. I still feel bad about that to this day.
Yeah.
No, he had a lot going on.
Okay.
Yeah, he was fine with that. He thought it was funny too. But yeah, so he just came round, we were like hanging out.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, haven't got laid in a while since like him and his ex broke up. And I'm like, oh, that sucks, man. I'm just getting drunk. And then he's
Yeah.
like, oh, do you used to like want to fight
Okay.
with me? And I'm like, yeah, sure.
Alrighty, yeah.
I'm like, I don't this sounds fun.
What were you thinking during this? You were like, cool.
Fuck yes.
No, she was not initially down for it, but we are very encouraging.
Persuasive.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah,
That's the way things should be.
That makes me sound great.
I'm not saying that at all.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bit of encouragement, and everyone consented. Everyone was
Yeah.
keen,
Yeah.
and
Wow.
yeah. This is-
Would you rate it? Was it?
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Yeah?
I mean, yeah, it's definitely not boring.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn.
It depends on your like what you're into, I guess. Like
Fair
I
enough.
don't care. So at one point, like they were 69ing, and I was fucking while they were doing that, and my nuts were just slapping on his head. That's like the funniest part of it. Yeah. And like looking back, I'm like, that's pretty rude. There's some threesome etiquette lines that I was definitely crossing.
Oh
Yeah.
man, that's incredible.
Yeah.
There's
Wow.
a movie, oh fuck, I can't remember the name of it, but it's like one of those movies with actual real sex in it. And the chick goes and picks up these two African dudes in the street. She's like looking out the window and she sees these two African dudes, so she like brings them inside. And
What sort of a movie is this again, by the way?
it's a Shia
regular-
LaBeouf. It's a Shia LaBeouf movie.
Okay.
A Sheila Booth.
Yeah, he gets his cock out in it too. He's a good fella. Anyway, so she's getting
Oh, well, you were watching it now.
yeah, she's getting DP.
On that Charlotte Wolf.
The guy on the bottom is like in a vagina and the other dude's in her ass, and then they like have to stop because their nuts keep touching, and one of them gets very upset.
Wow.
It's like, yeah, it's etiquette.
There's a great story told by Gavin McInnes. I don't know if it's true. Gavin McInnes is this conservative sort of political commentator.
Yeah, we know who he
You guys
is.
know?
I watched the
Yeah.
whole
Of course.
documentary on him, which I'll get into after this.
Yeah,
but
yeah. So Gavin was telling a story about him and his friend who were both having sex with this girl. And she, from the way I was understood the position to be was, it was like the guy was sitting up and the girl was on top. And they were both in the vaginal cavity, so to speak, right?
Bit of DP.
Bit of DP.
Yeah.
And then what happened was, one of the guys was wearing a condom and one wasn't. And as they were going,
Point.
I don't know what was happening there, but Gavin's dick slipped into the other guy's condom.
How?
How small is this guy's dick?
I don't
He's got room
know. I
in
don't
his
know
condom.
about the exact specifics
Yeah,
how it
yeah.
happened, but it was like, oh, he sort of got jammed for a bit, and then realized what had happened, and then he just sort of pulled out and then continued, and they were like, oh, well, this, like, how did you, like, was it like awkward or anything? And he's like, honestly, I would describe it the same way as if you and I were digging a hole and our shovels clinked. He goes, that's all I would consider it. He goes, it wasn't that big of a deal. And I go, That's pretty cool, Gav. Yeah.
Why is one person wearing a condom though? Like that's not gonna.
Well, I reckon the girl doesn't care, and the guy doesn't care, but the one dude's like, you know what, I want to be
I don't
safe.
want my dick touching his dick. I'm gonna wear a condom.
That's
That'll fix it.
That's like a special kind of fucking threesome right there. Sharing the same hole at the same time.
Incredible.
That's not. I'm not into two guys having threesomes with a chick. That's not my party.
Fine, I'll take it off my Christmas list.
He's done with the timing. That's timing there, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, that Gavin McGuinness, that's his name, right? Yeah. It's a documentary called Uhuru, because that's his like white power fucking thing that he used to do with the Proud Boys.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, because he got all tangled up in that shit.
Yeah.
The dude that makes it, look this up on YouTube, his name's Porcelain, and he does a bunch of like piss take documentaries where he's like, it's all like tongue in cheek sort of shit, but some of it's like kind of real.
Yeah.
And he's got one on Jim Norton and one on Joe Rogan, and they're really fucking good documentaries to watch.
Oh, damn.
It's like the other side of the coin type of thing.
Wow.
And this one on Gavin just paints him as this guy that's just like fucked up because he was at Vice to begin with.
Yeah.
And then they were like, it got to like PC at Vice.
Yeah.
So he was like, fuck this, like I'm leaving that. And then ended up being on like Anthony Cumia's fucking thing.
Yeah.
The Compound Media. And then it all sort of just blew out of proportion. And then like he was kind of like backed himself into a corner where he was like, I can't not like back down from like the Antifa crowd because they're like extreme left, and then that pushed him to being more like extreme right. It's actually a really interesting documentary of like how you can just start out like trying to be like anti-PC and then end up being like a fucking white nationalist by accident, because like they started shit, or who knows who started the shit to begin with. Like Antifa started fucking throwing shit, and he's like, fuck them, start throwing shit back, and then it all ended up in like this one rally where a bunch of people got run over by a car.
Yeah,
like
Charlottesville.
Yeah, it's fucked up, man. Like you feel so bad of like being part of that. Like accidentally made that happen.
That's the thing with like violence in general. It's like people are so quick. Every time I see a comment like, "Oh, punch a Nazi," or "slap this," it's like if you slap someone in the face and someone's a self-respecting guy, they will slap you back. Now they slap you back. Okay, you pick up a rock. Okay, then they pick up a knife, and then people get guns, and then people organize groups of people.
Yeah.
And violence always escalates.
Yep.
Violence always escalates. That's why, like, some people go, "Oh, you know, so-and-so does martial arts. Do you just go around fucking people up?" I go,
"No, my leg's fucked."
It's like people don't just go, "Oh, you hit me, you win." Oh, okay. Like that's one of the reasons. Complete crazy segue. Napoleon murdered all the other European nations for so long. Is there was a time where warfare in Europe almost became ritualized. But the two generals would meet and they would have tea and whatnot, and then they would organize in very specific lines and formations and face one another, and then okay, at the end of the day, almost like a chess game. Oh, I killed more people, you okay, shake hands, I'll give you my sword, very good, whatever. And Napoleon was like, dude, we're killing each other, I'm going to attack you at night, I'm going to attack you from your flank, from behind, guerrilla warfare. And it's like, yeah, I don't know how we start talking about Napoleon, but he wasn't short, by the way, people.
But I kind of agree with him. Like, if you're going to go to war, like, don't do it all like fucking meet up with the guy. Like,
it just goes to show the differentiation between classes in that time. Because the general was like, dude, we don't want to get killed. How about we don't kill each other and get these pawns to fight for each other? Who cares if you lose a few pawns? Oh, boom, we tried my best. I go back to my country. Look, guys, I tried, didn't go too well. Hey, we lost, we won.
It didn't really work out for Napoleon in the end anyway.
Ultimately, yeah. And it was like a lot of those things that comes down to like minor things. So I'm pretty sure the invading force he picked to invade. Okay, really going out on a limb here. the invading force he picked to invade Britain itself was like his worst men. It was like conscripted men and whatnot, and there was all these tactical errors made, and that's history. Like, things could have gone this way, things could have gone that way. This one small thing would have completely changed the course of all the events. That's life too, you know?
Yeah.
You zig where you should have zagged. You know, next thing you know, you start doing stand up here in a bloody shed somewhere. 3 other random people.
Yes, way to bring it back, Ollie. Good shit.
You met at a pub and dude goes, hey, you want to come meet me at this allocated time, at this allocated place? Anything could be happening, but you're like, you know what, let's do it. And let's
Go meet up with that man who ate the cookie off the bathroom floor. That sounds like a good idea.
Oh, man.
Oh man, it was it's obviously we got a pretty big break now. When's the next show? 5th of January?
No fucking idea.
Yeah, I don't think the shows are back till January. I'm going.
Because I need time off. This
Yeah.
is too much bombing. I've been eating shit constantly for the past couple of weeks now.
It's good that our roles have reversed.
Yeah.
You're killing it. Oh man, you know, it amazes me that how strong the Newcastle scene is, given you only have 3 open mics. You guys only have 3 open mics, but you guys have this awesome camaraderie. Everyone is a small, great group of people. Everyone really works on their stuff. Everyone's serious about what they're doing, and like the level that you guys are at is solid, you know. Considering, yeah.
I guess we just got to make the most of what we're given. We've also got some really, really talented people in Newcastle, so it tends to bring up everyone's level, I think.
Yeah.
Like you've seen Luke perform. Like Luke is probably my favourite like Newcastle comic. His fucking style of comedy is hilarious. So when you're watching him, you're like, oh man, I need to get better.
This is Luke. What's his last name?
Luke.
Dylan.
Fuck, Dylan. Thank you.
Luke.
Yeah,
Dillon.
Luke Dylan, long hair. He's got jokes about.
He works in a kebab shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His fucking
He
style.
came on the podcast last week and fucking killed it. Like, his
Yeah.
stories that he had
Damn.
being at work are fucked. But yeah, he turns them into like bits to do on stage all the time.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
It's so hard to turn a story about like something that happened and make it funny again.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a you had to be there type of thing.
That's all I do.
Yeah.
But I think
it is so
I've
hard to
noticed
tell stories.
with that, because I had a conversation with a friend of mine, James U. Warren. He's a comic in Melbourne, and we were talking about, because he's the same sort of thing. He really struggled with sort of comedic, like stories in comedy, whereas I struggled with like conventional jokes, like with structure and whatnot.
Yeah.
And it was like I said to him, I was like, man, growing up in high school, I had to tell a story at all times. I had to put my hand up, tell the class a story. And what happened is, period 1 I would tell a story, and lunch I'd be telling a story to a different group. And a dude who heard it early in the day would become like, well, Bobby, telling the same story. I'd be like, no, it got a lot better. Like, come listen to this version.
Yeah.
So I would tell the same story repeatedly, which is why the first time I did stand-up, even though I was terrified, I completely abandoned whatever material I prepared and was like, this thing, I'm not going to remember something I glossed over for like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But I've got a story I've told 10,000 times. I've probably got 1,000 stories I've told 10,000 times about this particular happening or that particular happening, and all these stories, a lot of them had a seed of truth, and they grew a great big oak tree of everything else in life.
Yeah.
And they're slightly embezzled and whatnot, and I will say that if anyone accuses me of lying, I'll defend myself to the very last bit. But I think it's comedy. Like a lot of things that you do reflect your personality.
Yeah. As long as you're like embezzling in a funny way, like if it's adding like humor to the story, then that's fine. As long as you're not talking yourself up and being like, whatever. But you can talk yourself up if you're like, I need to talk myself up to this point to make it funny. In some way, then that works. Or do it the other way and whatever you have to do to make it funny.
Yeah, well, I'm the same. Like, all my stories are like based in truth, but usually the punchline's not actually what happened. Like the whole.
Because you're not smart enough to say, I don't put my dick where you eat.
Not in the moment.
Not in the moment.
How hard is that?
Oh. Yeah.
And that was like, that was a situation that really happened where I found like my wife's strap-on dildo on the kitchen table. And I was sitting on that premise for 2 months before I sat down and then like wrote the joke properly. And now it's probably one of my strongest jokes.
Yeah,
Nice.
definitely.
Yeah,
That always gets a laugh.
yeah,
And it's because it's got that nugget of truth in it too.
yeah,
You can just keep telling it. Like,
yeah,
I think it'd be harder if it was just completely fabricated.
yeah,
Like, get up there every night and fucking tell it.
yeah.
It doesn't fucking work, I don't reckon.
No.
You need that little nugget of truth in there.
Yeah, yeah. So, and I mean, however people choose to tell stories or jokes on stage, I don't think there's a right and a wrong way.
Yeah.
There's stuff that works and doesn't work.
Yeah.
There's not a right and a wrong way. You've just got to fucking experiment with it.
If it works for you, you like doing it and people are laughing. Well, fuck, you can't really argue with that.
Definitely.
No, you can't. And also, you can just find your crowd. Like,
That's true.
I do well with, like...
Bogans in a pub at fucking...
Yeah, the rougher the
Stop it.
crowd for me,
Yeah.
like, the better. Like, when people get up... Because I'm so self-deprecating, people can't... it's like that scene out of 8 Mile, where he just rips himself, and then old mate's got nothing.
My wife does fuck my ass. Yeah, I'm the pud.
Yeah, exactly.
I've got nothing left.
Yeah, they can't heckle me. It's like, I just agree with them. I'm like, yeah, haven't you been listening for the last 2 minutes about my set? Like,
Yeah.
yeah. So I'll never be able to write jokes, I don't think, where I'm poking fun at something else.
Yeah.
I think that'll be a challenge for me, where it's like, yeah, I definitely, yeah, I don't know. I don't even know how to deal with hecklers if I do get heckled. There's really no, everyone always thinks about it in their head, like, oh, what could I say in the moment or whatever. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, you got to be really like thinking on your feet
Yeah,
for something, because they might throw you a curveball.
yeah,
Yeah. I think you just got to get heckled heaps. And it's like anything. If you get heckled heaps, eventually you'll figure out a way, because it's like, dude, I've dealt with hecklers more times than you've heckled a comedian.
yeah, exactly.
And then boom.
And I mean,
That's true, because most of the time, do that to a heckler. Is this your first heckle? Oh, well.
Yeah, work on your heckling, buddy.
Yeah.
How often do you write your heckles out?
That's good shit, man. We might have to use that sometime.
Damn, look at that.
that is good.
There
Discovering
you
a
go,
project.
one in the chamber for Bobby. Fucking
Yeah.
kill some fool. They yell out.
But I did, there's a guy called Greg Dean. He has a YouTube channel that talks about how to do stand-up, and
Yeah,
are you familiar with his stuff?
I haven't heard it, no. But
Okay, I can't, if you're a comic, get on his YouTube channel, it's amazing. He's been doing stand-up for over 40 years.
what did you say his name was? Greg Dean?
Greg Dean, yeah, he coached Robin Williams, Whoopi Goldberg, like so many A-listers. He's like well-renowned, like does classes in LA.
Yep.
Also followed me on Instagram, by the way.
nice.
Follows you?
So, what's happening?
Hell yeah. Bobby's blowing up.
And
Not just
We're
his
3
neck.
degrees from a dead Robin Williams now.
Oh,
Look at that.
yeah, but yeah, he's got an online joke writing course, and a lot of people have given me, because I asked a lot of people about this. Is it worth investing in one of these comedy courses or whatnot? And I didn't do it. I just went straight to an open mic.
Yeah.
And sort of, whereas in Melbourne it's quite common to do there's the School of Hard Knock Knocks or something
Yeah,
like
that
that.
dude's
Yeah.
podcast I've listened to a few
Yeah,
times.
there's that. So there's a lot of different schools in Melbourne and whatnot teaching comedy. And me, I just couldn't afford it. It was like several hundred bucks
Cool.
to do it. And I was like, oh, okay. But there are good comics that have come out of there. And then there's also this whole sort of cohort of Melbourne comics who detested people that came from that school. Like,
Yeah.
you know what?
Why would
Nah.
you though? Like, I understand detesting it too,
Yeah.
but I think it's like, it'd be like the difference, I'll do it in jiu-jitsu, so you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
like learning what a knee bar is, like reading about it in a book, and then actually doing it and
Yeah.
practicing it.
Yeah.
So it doesn't hurt to actually have the definition in your head, but you can learn it either way. You can learn it by paying money to
Definitely.
go to, not paying money if you're doing open mic, but like learn the open mic style where you just figure it out for yourself
Yeah.
and learn off other people how to do it.
Yeah.
Or you can pay and like read it in a book and then. But if you don't, either way, if you don't practice it over and over
Exactly.
again and get it down, you're not going to get it. And
Yeah.
I think people get the shits when they're like, oh, this person's done a comedy course, so now that they think they know everything.
Yeah.
Because, it's like you might know like the idea of it,
Yeah.
but can you actually do it?
And that's the thing. I read a great book when I was in hospital. It's called Peak. And I think everybody should read this book. It's a bit hard to get through, but it's all about extraordinary human beings, high performance, be they comics, musicians, athletes, chess players, whatever. And what are they doing differently? How do they practice? Because the book believes deliberate practice is the main variable above everything else that determines your success in your particular field. Yeah. And
unless you're John Jones. You can just do coke and win.
One aspect, one thing that the book discusses is the difference between knowledge and skill.
Yeah.
And a lot of learning systems, education systems, you can talk this as broad as you want to take it, but a lot of people have a lot of knowledge about a particular topic, but they can't actually do it. They might have seen every YouTube video and read a book on how to make a table, but they never actually made a table. Whereas someone else might not know all the various nuances of what wood to use and what to do, but they've built 20 fucking tables.
Yeah.
So if I wanted to learn how to build a table, I would rather build that skill as opposed to have that knowledge. Obviously, the more knowledge you have, the two go hand in hand. Whereas a lot of these systems that are built, that the purpose is to increase skill, all they're doing is providing knowledge. Whereas look at schools like that. You know what I mean? You will learn all the theoretical components of doing whatever you're doing, but there's very little practical application. So you're not actually building skills, you're just acquiring knowledge. Yeah. And that's one of the reasons why the book discusses how you mentioned earlier about the person reading the chart for your dad. They've actually done studies where they found that the people who read these charts, I've forgotten the specific name for that medical professional, someone who's straight out of med school is actually more capable of giving you a better reading than someone who's been doing that job for 10 years.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is someone straight out of med school has just been doing training and researching all these things, where someone who's just doing the same thing again and again, this is sort of from Malcolm Gladwell's book Outliers. People have this idea of just put 10,000 hours into something, man. Just get on stage, and you're right, you will learn new things. But doing the same thing over and over again won't necessarily yield improvement. You've got to constantly analyze mistakes, look at everything, and that's the same thing with jiu-jitsu. Ryan Hall says this about jiu-jitsu. He goes, working hard doesn't just mean you have to drag yourself off the mat or you have to be KO off the mat. It's about going home, watching your footage, analyzing what you can do differently in terms of training methodology, sitting down with a coach, watching tape of the top performance, seeing how you can emulate them. Are you 100% concentrating, shortening your session? Sometimes doing less is doing more. There's all these tiny little nuances of
that's
improvement.
The working smart side of it.
The working smart side of it, which is actually oftentimes harder than just sweating really hard and just doing. Because you could just get up and do, especially in a place like Melbourne, you could do 20 gigs a week.
Yeah.
But if you do the same set and the same thing, you're not going to get nearly the same benefit as if you did 10 gigs. Yeah. But you realize you went home, you watched the tape back. Okay, this line got a better laugh. Let me repeat that. Let me cut out this extra stuff. Okay, boom. And you're analyzing and you're working and you can make a far greater use of your time.
Yeah. And it does really come down to, I think, the feedback that you're willing to accept and the feedback that you get.
Yeah.
With comedy too, there's so much ego involved.
Yeah.
Where people were chasing laughter.
Yeah.
And when you've got something that's maybe working at 70% efficiency and you're like, oh yeah, this is working, that's good. And someone comes up and they're like, what about this?
Yeah.
It's so easy to just dismiss them.
Yeah.
You're like, what? No?
Yeah.
Like, my opener. So, they call me Puddin' because I'm fat. And it's just like, it's such a throwaway line.
Yeah.
But it took me so long to just commit to that line.
Yeah, wow.
And that was like in my first couple of weeks of doing comedy when I started using that line. Eddie, she's been on the podcast. She runs the Stag
awesome.
Hunter.
Yeah, I met her, yeah.
Yeah, she gave me that line. She's like, just say that.
Wow.
And I did it the next week. Like, I followed her advice, but it didn't work.
Yeah.
And I was like, that was just the wrong advice.
Yeah.
It wasn't. It was the right advice. It's just I didn't deliver it correctly.
Yeah.
Whatever, and I didn't have like the setup. Or I didn't have the timing. There's so much that goes into it.
Yeah.
So Yeah, and it just becomes that ego where it's like, oh yeah, I had a line that kind of worked, and it was like I was getting a reaction. Let's just say a reaction.
Yeah.
I won't even say it was laughs. It was a reaction, and I just had that ego about it where I was like, yeah, no, that doesn't work. I won't.
Definitely.
Yeah. Follow
The
the
ego
advice.
is without a doubt the enemy. I mean, we all, it motivates us, it drives us, we want to improve and build this stuff up, build this sort of thing about ourselves. Third book to throw at you, in case you haven't heard, I fucking read. Fucking intellectual over here, cunts. I've read 3 pages of all these books, but I'm gonna drop all 3 names to let you cunts know I'm a smart motherfucker. I'm Indian, you know what I mean? My mother, I was born with a book. What's up? I came out with a fucking pen in my hand. But you guys have to read. You guys heard of Jocko Willink?
Yeah.
What a
Big fan.
dude, Jocko
Big
Willink.
fan.
I've set onto my my face all my social media notifications. The very first thing I see every morning, or on the top of my newsfeed, is anything
watch.
Jocko posts. Yeah. And like you were just saying, every morning he gets up at 3:30 a.m. Every single morning he gets up at 3:30 a.m. and he puts in a workout. And that's his thing done for the day. He's all about default aggression.
Yeah.
And not in the sense that, go and punch someone in the face, but no, aggressively, unmitigated daily discipline in all things. Aggressively pursue the things you want in life.
Yeah.
Decide what you need to do and move. Like, he put up a great video today. It was like, the word motivate. He said the root word for motivate is modus. I think that's a Latin term. What that means is to move.
Yeah.
Like, get out there, get shit done, you know? Like, fuck. Like, he'll say things like, there's a lot to do, and not a lot of time to do it. Like, have a sense of urgency about the things you want to do.
Yeah.
Because especially like us young people, we can go, I'm 18, I got my whole life. And yeah, you do. I'm 20, I got my whole life. But imagine if you start putting in work today.
Yeah.
Imagine, especially if you have an inkling of what you want to do. There's something, you've got a passion, you've got something to do. Because I think we're so lucky that we sort of have some understanding of what we want to do. With some people, they got no idea. They're just like,
Yeah, that's true, man.
You know
Some
what I mean?
people are just like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing at all.
Yeah, which is,
At least it's got comedy. It's like, that's something that I like doing.
that's it.
Like, you've got jiu-jitsu. Like,
Yeah.
some of my hobbies are fucking atrocious though. Like, for getting other shit done though, like I play way too many fucking video games. And like that gets in the way of doing other shit.
Yeah.
But and some people it's like drugs or some other shit where it's just like, it's just fucking eating up all their time and you're just like, I'll just do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's like, if you can get it done today and there's no issue with that,
That's
like,
it.
why not?
Fourth
Fucking do
book
it.
for you. A great quote. I think we're going to name the fourth book because now I'm feeling a bit self-conscious.
No, it's all good.
But the quote is, there's only 2 times, now or too late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that blows my mind. Like, especially the good shit, like, let's not put that off.
Yeah.
You know, like, if you're going to put off anything, because this is another stealing straight from Jocko. Everything good I know has been parroted from someone else. I have not come up with anything good originally. That includes my material, by the way. But he says if there's anything you should put off, because as a general rule he's against procrastination.
Yeah.
But if there's anything you should put off, that is that you'll want to rest. If you get up in the morning and you're like, today I'm not feeling it. Maybe this is a sign that you're sick or you need to rest. But you know what? Don't take today off. Take tomorrow off. Today you wake up, it's 4:30, you need to get 6 things done. You know what? I need to sleep. You know what? I'm going to take tomorrow off. Because then you'll know in 6 hours. Because you know how sometimes like you need to get into work in the morning, do something in the morning, and you're like, I'll sleep in. And after you sleep in, you always feel bad. Whereas if you do it, you're like, you always feel good. You're like, man. And I in the aftermath, you're always like, man, I'm glad I did that. I'm glad I willed myself through it.
Yeah.
And going on what you were saying earlier about people who are caught up in a habit like me, I'm on my phone all the time, or video games, or drugs, or whatever. There's an idea in people's heads that I'm Bobby, I'm the guy who spends 5 hours on my phone, and I can't stop doing that. I'm Joe Blow, and I love doing blow, and that's what I do. You know what I mean? I can't stop doing it. But it's like, you are not your past. This is parroted again from somebody else. You are not your past. The person yesterday doesn't have to be the next person for the next second. You can just decide, and obviously the best changes are incremental changes, things that are doable. You can slowly put in over time.
Set realistic goals.
It's a bad idea to be like, you know what, I'm never doing drugs again, and all your friends are stoners, and the next Saturday you're saying, I'll pass it. As opposed to be like, you know what, this week I'm only going to smoke 4 times. Well, something that's doable and slowly build up. But in saying that, you can just go and do the radical shit, which I love to do, make these radical things, you know? I'm the sort of guy who, especially if my friends start getting into me, I'll turn around and be like, get something crazy, but you know what, take this, I swear, till I have the falling medal around my neck, I will not do X, X, and X. And it's up to you at any moment in your life. Not that it's hard because I've got these 2 ideas in my head that sort of, what's the word for it, they conflict with one another. And one's the idea, I don't actually believe in free will.
Yeah, okay.
But in the same, have you heard Sam Harris's perspective on this?
No, I'm aware of who Sam Harris is, but
so I'm sold on his arguments. I don't think we have free will, but at the same time, I do believe we have the ability to change our lives exponentially for the better. Because I've seen myself progress and make decisions and whatnot. The only thing is, the anti-free will argument isn't so much as, you're powerless to stop whatever phase you're going in. The anti-free will argument is pretty much that no one chooses your parents, right? To start off with. No one chooses circumstances they're born in and whatnot. And those circumstances, almost like when you shoot a white ball into a stack of pool balls, you can calculate from the amount of power you put into the ball, the position of each of the balls. It's almost like our lives are almost like, this is the argument of the people who are anti-free will, the determinist people. They believe that we're like that pool ball. We've just been let gone. And then there's all these external stimuli and influences, and then, you know what, I saw something on Facebook, I'm going to try this new diet. Or this guy comes into my life and bam, we're doing heroin for 6 months, baby. We're shooting up. Put that tourniquet on my arm. And it's like, you can say to yourself, a pro free will person would say, no, you met this guy. He said, let's try heroin. You could have said no. Whereas a genomics guy would have said, no. Because you were brought up in let's say a very oppressed family, you didn't want to try it.
Predetermined or predisposition to
your predisposition was so high. They even say that in 50 years when we have a better understanding of this, we're going to say it was criminal for us to lock up criminals because they almost had no choice. They would have done that irrespective, which I don't know, because a lot of these ideas are theoretical and very grandiose, and I really don't think my dumb brain can really wrap my head around these ideas.
It comes down to, what's that Tom Cruise movie where he's a fucking
cop?
He's a cop, but a future cop. So they can tell the future and see when someone's about to commit a crime, and then they go to jail for it.
What do you think about that? If that was real, are you for it?
If it's actually real and it's like backed up by data, how do you argue with that?
How do you?
But
it is wrong. We do understand there's something fundamentally wrong.
With punishing someone before they've actually done something wrong.
What do you think, Ethan?
It's fucked up, man. Like, there's just like, the other argument is that, like, you don't have to be that person the next day, like you're saying before. If it's all
completely contradictory,
predetermined. My thing is, like, I like to take personal responsibility for shit. Like, if I fuck up, I'm like, that's my fuck up. That's not because of anything else but me. Like, obviously there are other contributing factors that, like, led to decisions that I've made where I've fucked up. But I think if you don't wear it and you, like, make yourself the victim and try and, like,
excuses,
make those excuses, then nothing's really going to get done.
And that's
nothing's going to change.
What you just described, that concept of extreme ownership, I think you cannot really be successful without it. If you don't say, if you go, I had a bad set, it was the crowd, or it was this, even if there were those elements. The more you go, you know what, that was me, because you can fix yourself. You can fix your action.
It's both though. It's like, it is the crowd sometimes, but you can blame the crowd and go, well, there's nothing that I could have done. Or you can blame the crowd and go, hey, what could I do in that situation if a crowd's been fucked like that, to make this situation not as fucked?
And look, there's I'm like, yeah, extreme ownership in the fact that you can look at the mistakes you've made and then correct them in the future. So if you're in the same position, you don't make the same choices. But also it can be a negative thing because people will take extreme ownership to the point where it's a negative. Right. They then become like they have negative biases in their brain. Yeah. And instead of sometimes correcting the situation, they'll avoid it entirely. Okay. So what I found is, so I work in like mental health now. Yeah. And people's idea around depression as a disease and an injury can be very unhealthy. Yeah. Like, it used to be people wouldn't admit that they had anything wrong and used to just put it down inside themselves, and then that wouldn't work. Now I've seen like some guys like, oh yeah, I'm just fucking broken.
Oh, so they're going completely the other way. Yeah. Where it's like instead of even admitting that there's something wrong, they've just said, yes, there is something wrong and I'm helpless to fix it. Yeah. Just let it completely own them.
Yeah, and like I was dealing with this one guy and he's like, yeah, I'm broken. I'm like, hey man, like I need to challenge that bias. Yeah. Like your bias right now. And I said, and correct me if you think I'm wrong, but you've got an injury. You're not broken. Like if you hurt your arm at work or whatever and you're like, oh yeah, I've hurt my arm. You're not like, oh, I'm broken and this is the end of the line for me. Yeah. So you can come across like extreme ownership where you're like, I've fucked up and this is shit. And like you then become you become afraid of failure almost. And that was a big thing for me, like that fear of failure, like and anxiety around it, like where people will just avoid things.
Definitely, yeah.
So embrace failure. Yeah. Like, because you're never ever going to do everything perfectly every time. And embrace failure. Use it as a positive experience moving forward. That's right.
Get out there. Heckle a comedian. Get shut down. Try again next time.
Or be me. Be a heckler and then be like, hey, look, fuck it, I'll go and do comedy. Yeah. I wasn't like an asshole heckler. Yeah. But I was like one of those like just a loud crowd member who would like try and chime in and stuff. And like it was always like self-derogatory on me. Yeah. And
just trying to get the attention. Like just being in the crowd and being like,
we all love attention.
Yeah. I want to be up there getting the attention, but I'm not. I'm here in the front row, so I'll do whatever I can to derail this shit. Yeah. Unintentionally. Of course.
It wasn't ever coming from a place where I was like, fuck that guy or whatever. No. It was like, and some of it was like positive, some of it was negative, like it was getting laughs or whatever, but also you're also fucking up your set for the comedian. Even if the show's still going like pretty well, you're still fucking up their jokes and their set. Yeah. So, yeah, and that was like something where I was like, all right, fuck it, I'll just become a comedian now. But I also like people who are like that. If I've got someone who will like chime in and like I can bounce off them, I like it. That's why the show at the boat rowers a couple of weeks ago was so good, because they were my people, and it's like they'd chime in and like I was able to bounce off them. So we got a really good rapport. But there was other comics where it just didn't work. It was like they then became like almost aggressive towards the crowd because they're like, fuck these hecklers.
And then the crowd's going to get aggressive back to you. Yeah. And they're not going to laugh at you if you're coming at them with negativity. They're just going to be like, fuck this cunt. This is our pub.
That's true.
Yeah.
We own it. Although we just turn up all the time. Yeah. You're on our turf. Make us laugh.
Yeah. Especially in like, have you been to Stockton?
Yes.
Yeah. So super small town. Like it's its own entity almost.
It's almost like an island like this. Like one big bridge into
that side of the bridge.
Yeah. It's a landlocked island almost because it's just but
Mitchell just keeps bringing it up on the podcast because he wants to relive the experience of killing.
Shaz didn't fucking record my set, so I got to relive it somehow.
Yeah. Should have got that one.
Yeah.
Well, didn't get the cookie on film either. Shit happens.
Fucking heartbroken.
What are you doing for Christmas, man?
Man, just sort of, it's interesting because like Christmas isn't like a Sikh holiday, but we sort of have ended up doing it.
Yeah.
Sort of like, we sort of come together, and all we would do is, I've got like a bunch of uncles and aunties and all sorts of different relatives, and they're all spread out across different areas in Australia. So they're in Bathurst and Cowra, Woollahra, all these different Wollongong, different places. And what we would do is we'd just sort of pick. When I was younger, we would do it more so. Now, so we've done this. So we'd all pick one house. Be like, we're going to go. Everyone in the family is going to go to Uncle so and so's house. And what I noticed was, the more integrated the family that particular uncle was, the better the Christmas was. Whereas if you had a really like shitty integrated uncle who still kept like super traditionally like Indian and everything, you would have the worst Christmas because you would rock up and they'd be like,
you're rocking up in a Santa hat and shit.
I'm like, dude, what there's no presents? It's like, what? No one told me there's presents for Christmas. Like, what's going on? Like, this is the best bit.
Shit.
Whereas if you rocked up to like a super, like I got one uncle who lives out near Woollahra near Lithgow. And this dude, he realized there's no Indians around, he's gonna have to make friends with a few white people. And he got into it. He got his son playing cricket and whatever, and he really became part of the community.
Yeah.
And understood. So we go there and we barbecue.
You're not going there this Christmas, are you?
This Christmas.
Fuck, man, that place just got fucked up with those fires.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Was their place alright?
Yeah, I haven't heard anything.
Oh shit, better check in.
I haven't heard anything from them. So.
Yeah. Haven't heard shit.
They must be fine.
That or they're not fine.
They're not fine.
Yeah, man.
I'm suddenly very concerned. Sorry, guys, I have to make a phone call.
Yeah.
After this, man, that fire. That was fucked up. It's so bad. They've it just went through Lithgow like the other day.
Wow.
So if he's out near there, it's fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah. That thing's just gonna keep going, I reckon, until it hits Sydney. Like where it's at the moment, it's just burning like all out of to the west of Sydney, like north and southwest.
Wow.
And it's just all sort of meeting up in the middle, and it's just fucking the most devastating thing that's ever fucking happened to this country. Pretty much, it's insane.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And unless it hits that concrete jungle, I reckon it'll get to like Penrith and shit. I reckon it's gonna stop there. But it's just gonna keep going. Like we've got wind now at the moment, but like those winds when it's blowing westerly, that like really hot wind that you feel, that's coming from the west, and it's just pushing those fires like more and more towards the coast.
Wow.
Fucking crazy. And then like because of the fires, like all this smoke's coming up, and that generates like thunderstorms.
Really?
From the smoke, like all in the atmosphere. Yeah. So that can create lightning, which starts more fires. It's just this fucked up system.
It's just a fucking never-ending cycle until the fuel's gone.
Until it rains.
Wow.
Yeah, which doesn't look like it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It was supposed to rain yesterday.
Yeah.
But never did.
Yeah.
Which.
Wow.
And the fucked up thing is that like the fire will rip through an area, right? But it doesn't burn absolutely everything.
Right.
And then it can like reignite and then start burning again.
Wow.
When that stuff.
Not to mention, there's birds that will pick up like embers and start fires in other areas because it's a great way for them to get food because they can just fucking go get some barbecue fucking wallaby. Like, once the fire's done, it's fucked, man.
Shit birds, huh?
Bird. What bird was that?
Well, I don't know the name of the bird. My wife told me.
Bring back capital punishment for that kind.
Like, also, like the eucalyptus tree.
Yeah.
It, like, whenever it burns, that's how it, like, repollinates and stuff.
Yeah, a lot of that's true, yeah.
So, it's just like our entire country is just this fucking giant tinderbox. Just ready to go. And then we stack on climate change on top of that. And no matter your politics on how it was caused, there's really no fucking arguing the fact that it's like we're having the hottest days ever.
Definitely.
We're breaking all these records, and now we've got a fire season that's just... There's never been a fire season like it. No, it's been going
It's the worst fucking fires that we've ever had.
Wow.
Yeah, which is insane considering 6 years ago we had most of New South Wales on fire. And then 3 years ago, or 2 years ago, last year even the fire season last year, there was fires out near where I live.
Wow.
Where like I could see the flames at my house.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then Like when we were talking about how I was in the Air Force, there was fires out in Williamtown.
Okay.
We literally see the fire across like the runway, the RAF base. And he's like,
what do we do if the wind turns?
they fucking wouldn't let us go home. They're like, the safest place for you is right here. I'm like, cunt, the fire is right there.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, well, there's a big gap there. Like, the fire's not going to spread across the runway.
I'm worried about not being able to fucking breathe.
Yeah. What about the fucking smoke, dickhead?
Yeah.
Fuck you. Oh, man.
Wow.
Oh, I get so fucking emotional when I think about that situation. And then we're driving back, right? And it's like the end of the fucking world. I don't know if you've ever been in a situation when there's a natural disaster and you've got to be in traffic. But everyone loses their fucking mind because it's like people panic.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm gonna fucking die. And it's like, no, you're not gonna die. If everyone just like keeps their cool and like keeps moving forward.
Yeah. All it takes is one.
Oh, dude, I saw this one guy. Right, so we're on the Pacific Highway, and there's like a big like V ditch in between the two roads. And all the cars are like, fuck this, I'm getting out of here, and like doing U-bangers and like driving up towards Taree.
Yeah.
And like this one dude in a white Commodore, just fucking like, instead of like hitting at an angle and going slow, he just drives like straight forward and just rips the front end off his car. And he's like, now you're fucked. Like, now you are fucked.
That's so good. I love that.
Yeah, but the problem is...
Sitting there, just a boner.
Yeah.
You cunt.
Yeah, but the problem is,
Idiot.
someone will do something like that, and it'll clog everything.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, now no one's moving, and we're all in this situation.
Yeah.
And you're just like, what the fuck? And we had a fire drill in our building, so we're all moving down the fire stairs. People were stopping, right? There's enough room for two people to walk by, and then obviously each floor has to come out and filter in. So they're like just stopping to let people out. So all of a sudden, everyone who's up there is now stopped to let more people out, and it's like, what are you doing? Why are we stopping? Fucking filter in. Like, I don't know, 1 and 2s. Just figure it out, but you do not fucking stop if there's a fire, you fucking idiots. We're in a giant fucking tube with stairs.
We are so unprepared. If shit actually went down, like we had a Hurricane Katrina, or like a real, like something real bad shit go down, the average person is not prepared. We don't have people. I think most people 2 weeks without access to running water and electricity.
Yep.
I think we'd be in a lot of trouble.
Oh, dude, yeah. To the point where, like, this is going to sound insane, but I was looking at, like, how do desalinators work?
Yeah.
So what happens if we run out of water? And there's places in New South Wales right now that have run out of water. Like, my old hometown has run out of water.
Yeah.
And it's like, we just rely on the government to be like, yeah, we'll get you water.
Yeah.
What happens if you can't rely on the government anymore? It's like, what do I do? How do I desalinate my own water just so I can drink if it comes to that? It's like, and I still don't know either. It's a really fucking hard process to desalinate water.
Shit, Mitchell's about to let us know.
Yeah, no.
The apocalypse is going to be here.
No, you boil it and then it's all demineralized, so it's actually not fucking that good for you. So then you got to put some salt back in, and there's ratios for the salt, like, because you end up fucking yourself up that way, and it's just like, yeah, I'm fucked.
Drink seawater until I fucking die.
Yeah.
Because that's terrible for you, right?
Seawater. Yeah, it gives you diarrhea, like.
Yeah.
Right.
Fucking makes you trip balls.
If you're fucking clogged up though, get some fucking Himalayan sea salt, put a fuckload of that in some water and drink that. 40 minutes later,
wow,
it'll be like a shotgun.
Damn.
Well, I know how to shit when the apocalypse comes, so that's good.
Yeah.
How about the people who are like, dude, I can't wait for the apocalypse? I'm like, dude, you're gonna die first.
Yeah, you're dead. I'm coming around to your house and taking your shit.
Oh my god.
I'm fucking prepared.
Oh my god, you're gonna prepare for the apocalypse, please.
I'm prepared. I got 10 cans of
The people who are prepared for the apocalypse are in the fucking prisons. The cops have killed like 30 people, you know.
No, dude, the people that are prepared are the ones that are like fucking living off the land in like
Already.
bumfuck west.
Yeah.
Like drinking cactus juice and shit. Like the people that think that like, oh, I'm gonna build like a bunker. It's just a big target, man. Like people are like, oh, there's shit in there that I want, and you've got it. I'm coming in there to fucking take it.
That's what you got to do. You got to be able to live off the land and just fuck off thief in the bush.
Yeah, and just stay on the move.
You're
like,
so
don't stop. Like
you're so fucked. Like anyone who's played like survival video games with other people, you'll see like just how fucking it's. Even though it's a video game, there's no one person in the video game who's like, oh yeah, I fucking never died.
Wow.
It's like it's just pure luck in that aspect that you just fucking get out and you're alive. Like that's all it is really at the end of the day. Like it's just pure luck. Like if Jocko Willing was in like a fucking worst case scenario, middle of the city and like zombies are popping through the fucking walls, it's like he's probably the most prepared.
Yeah.
He's probably in like the 0.001% of the community, but even then, even him, it would be just pure luck.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Asshole in a Commodore's gonna do it. Just fucking run the cunt over.
Yeah.
There goes all the jokers, right?
Yeah. Because you can be prepared like your own shit, but you can't be prepared for other people's stupidity.
Yeah.
That's why when I like ride a motorbike around on the streets, I'm just like schizophrenic. I'm just like, everyone's out to kill me.
Yeah.
They really are. Like you never know what some retarded shit they're gonna pull. You're just like, fuck.
Oh yeah. Or you just go around a corner and there's been an oil spill and that's it.
You just lay it down.
Fucking see you later.
I was riding back from uni after an exam like the other week, and this guy just starts coming on over into my lane and didn't even look or anything. No blinker. Just fucking. Just slowly, thankfully, because if he'd done it like an aggressive, quick lane change, he would have wiped me out. I just saw him coming, I'm just like, fuck. Like, dodged out of the way, got out of the way of it. Lucky I saw him. I'm like, fucking hell. Some people, they're fucked.
Yeah.
They're on autopilot. They're not all there, right?
I've been there, man. I did that a couple of weeks ago. Just fucking lane change, and I was like, I was like, so lucky that there was no one there. Yeah. So lucky there was no one there, and I'm just like, oh fuck.
I had a friend, this was back when I was in high school, because I couldn't wait to get my bike and just be independent, get places, do my thing.
Yeah.
16, 9 months, when I got my license, and I bought like a little 250, and I had a mate, and my mate goes, Bobby, you should do CrossFit. I was like, CrossFit? Okay, cool. When should I CrossFit? He's like, there's like a class, like 5:30 a.m. in like Tuggerah. It's like half hour from my house. I go, you know what? I'll be there. I'm gonna wake up in the morning, put a single earphone in, connected to my navigation, telling me where to go, and I'm gonna rock up. He's like, sweet. I get up in the morning. It is cold, and for people who think it's cold, if you're on a bike,
it's even fucking
freezing.
Goes through you.
And then guess what? It was raining.
Yeah.
And I have pretty much no experience even riding in the dark, let alone riding in the wind. Well, also I realized, okay, this story gets progressively worse. So I put on my gear, I had a few gloves and whatnot, and I rock out. I'm like, you know what, Bobby, it's so good. This is just, it's part of your story, you know, part of your book, you know what I mean? Like, get on your shit. So I get on my bike. Turns out
this book's going to be an autobiography.
Turns out
he's going to get someone else to write the book for him because he's going to be a fucking quadriplegic.
Turns out the way, the navigation system, the route that had taken me through, went through the highway.
Yeah.
So next thing you know, I'm on the highway doing 90, which is my limit, right?
On a how many cc was your bike?
On a 250cc bike, trucks going past me at over 110.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Every time a truck goes, I shut up. On top of that, my teeth are chattering. My teeth are chattering. I'm trembling. My knees are trembling. I'm skinnier than I am now.
You're like, how is this legal?
I'm like 55, 60 kilograms on this little freaking bike. And it was like a cruiser too. It was like a 250, but it was like set up like a cruiser. So it's not a small bike for me to handle.
Yeah.
And I'm just hoping I hear a voice every now and then telling me to go left, turn, go right, whatever. I'm having a terrible, every now and then, and there's cracks in the road. And what would happen is every time my front wheel would get caught in a crack, I wouldn't be able to steer.
Ugh.
So my whole bike would shudder and vibrate. There's trucks going by. It's raining, freezing cold. This is worse than hell. You know what I mean? Finally, I take an exit, and I'm like 10 minutes away from the gym. and I go past a roundabout, and it's all roadworks, right? And the sign saying there's no lanes marked or anything. And I'm going through, I exit the roundabout, and suddenly I just have this strange feeling. It's in my gut, something odd. I don't know what it was. Till this day, there was nothing overt or in my environment that made me feel this way. It was completely intuitive. And I just stopped in the middle of the road. And I looked to my left, and there was like a safety island, like a pedestrian island. And for some reason, I still don't know why, I put my bike in neutral and I sort of wheeled it onto the safety island to sort of evaluate what was going on. And literally 15 seconds later, a four-wheel drive came from the incoming way, doing 70 kilometers an hour.
Jesus, dude.
Yeah.
You're fucking
So I'm just there, and I'm like, okay. I thought this morning couldn't get any worse. Like, CrossFit is fucking dangerous, people. That's the moral of this story. Fuck CrossFit, do jiu-jitsu. Alright? Fuck, no one should be up at 5:30 in the morning. I don't care what Jocko says. And I was just like, dude. And until today, I'm puzzled why I stopped, what that feeling came from. Where that car was, I didn't know. At first I thought that car was just crazy, then I turned that I was the crazy one. I somehow turned off the thing into the incoming thing.
Oh fuck, you were on the wrong side of the road.
Yeah.
So I was just like...
You're probably just that fucking confused, like cold, and then being on the fucking thing with the trucks going past and shit. It all just adds up, and that's so like smart of you to stop for a second and just go like, fuck, what's actually going on? Like, but that's usually a lot of people don't do that.
Usually it's like, that's so out of
just gonna
character.
push through. Yeah, no, sometimes if you fucking don't know which way's up, you gotta just stop for a sec and just go, hang on a minute, what the fuck's going on?
Gather yourself.
Yeah.
Man, but thank God.
That's crazy, dude.
Otherwise, I was not even 17 years old. All this comedy, all this great, my contribution to the society that was left. All these books I was going to tell you about. You wouldn't have heard of none of that.
You would have just been a fucking smear on the road.
Far out.
Yeah. Anyway, man, we've done an hour and 22.
Jesus.
Oh damn.
That'll
Time always flies.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But thanks, guys.
Thanks for coming up, dude.
No
Have a fucking Merry Christmas. And
you too.
Happy New Year.
And to everyone at home as well.
Yeah.
We're going to be on break from the 27th-ish through to the 11th. I'm going away. So
We're just going to set up a 10-man tent with these misses.
Damn.
It's going to be funny.
it's going to be, the whole family's like literally cooking popcorn and just sitting down to watch the show.
Oh yeah.
And my wife's like a big camper, so she really takes charge.
Okay.
And I'm a fucking idiot, and I don't know what I don't know, so I'll try and take charge, do the Commander Coin thing.
Yeah.
And it's
his military background coming through.
where I'm just like...
It's like I got fingered in the ass one time, so I know what I'm doing.
That reference to the story?
Yeah. When it was some chick fingered you in the ass when you're in recruits or something?
No, it was a dude.
What sort of training is this?
Yeah. Oh, look,
getting him prepared.
It was real ticklish.
Okay.
I'd giggled lots.
Anyway, that's another story for another
I'll
day.
leave you at that.
All right, I fucking love yous. Thanks for coming on, Bobby.
No worries. Thank you.
See yous.